All right, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do two things. First, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool geometric flower using just the ellipse tool and the rotate tool. And then I'm going to show you how to make it into a drop repeat. And the great thing about the drop repeat is that you can apply that to really anything that you make. It looks just like this. So let's go check it out. Here we go. All right, to make this simple drop repeat with the geometric flower in it, go ahead and make a new document and then go to the View menu, click on Show Grid, and the View menu, Snap to Grid. Keyboard shortcuts for that, Control quote mark for Show Grid and Control Shift quote mark for Snap to Grid. Let's go ahead and zoom in on a 1x1 grid square. We can have our colors at their default, black for the stroke and white for the fill. You can also type D on your keyboard to do that. Let's get to our ellipse tool, and we're going to draw a 1" by 1" circle, so that'll just fit within the 1" standard grid. And then let's open up the stroke panel and open up the stroke options. And we want to align the stroke to the inside of the circle. That's going to come into play a little bit later once we make our pattern, so we might as well do that now. Next step is we're going to go to the Object menu, down to Path, and we're going to add anchor points. So the circle by default is made with 4 anchor points, but we want a total of 8. So we're going to add anchor points. Now, take the white arrow, and you're going to click on just the top point. A solid blue point means it's selected. If it's white, it's not selected. So just select the top one. Then hold the Shift key down and select the point that's on the right, on the bottom, and then on the left. And now, go to the Rotate tool. Keyboard shortcut is R. Double-click the Rotate tool, and we're going to rotate those selected anchor points 180 degrees. And what happens when you do that is it takes the one from the top and puts it at the bottom, and the one from the side and puts it on the other side. So twist it around and makes this cool little geometric flower. We'll click on OK. We're going to make the drop repeat, but before we do that, let's change the stroke color to white and the fill color to none. And it's going to disappear for a moment, but it'll reappear once we put the background on here. The next step is to make the repeated copy. So with your geometric flower selected, double click the black arrow, and we want to copy this 1" to the right, so that's 72 points, and 1" down, that's another 72 points, and we want to make sure that we copy it. All right, so there's one here, and there's one here, and right now they're invisible because the stroke is white. Now the one that we just copied, we want to rotate this a little bit. We don't want it to be the same orientation as this one. So select the new copy, double click the rotate tool, and we want to rotate this 22.5 degrees. And so that's just going to turn it so the petals of the flower, let's say, are standing straight up and down and to the left and to the right. And we'll just click on OK. So now you can see that the two of them are the same, but one is on one angle and the other is on a separate angle. Now we're going to create the background color. So we're going to take the rectangle tool and create a rectangle that's in this 2x2 grid. We're going to give it a color, and it can really be any color that you want. So I'm just going to take one of these purple colors. I don't want there to be a stroke, so turn the stroke off. Just want to fill, and then send this to the back. Object, Arrange, Send to Back. I'm going to take the black arrow. I'm going to select all 3 objects. I'm going to double click the scale tool. And what I want to do is I just want to make sure that the strokes also scale with my transformation. So I'm going to click on Scale Strokes and Effect, and I'm going to make the scaling 25%. And then I'm going to click on OK. The last step is to take all 3, drag them into your swatches panel, and then we can apply them to a large area and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to zoom out here. I'm going to create a large rectangle, and I'm going to fill it in with my swatch pattern. All right, that's it for this particular tutorial. There's so much you can do with that simple drop repeat action by copying something 1 inch to the right and 1 inch down. So you can really do this pattern with anything. All right, that's it.